Hi, I'm Jean, the plant-based nurse, and I wanted to show you today that you can make hummus from just about anything you have in the house as long as you have some chickpeas or even some white beans. So today I wanted to make roasted red pepper hummus. I didn't have any red peppers, so I'm making roasted yellow pepper hummus. Now I didn't have any peppers already roasted, so I'm fortunate enough to have a gas stove, so I just cut my pepper in half and de-seeded it. Put it right on top of the flame, and you can see it's already getting blackened. And what I want to do is have it really flipped over to get the skin blackened. I just had it that way to show you. And after I get that blackened, I'm going to put it inside a brown paper bag, or you can wrap it in foil, and then just scrape off that blackness after it gets nice and soft. And then we'll move on to the next step. Here are my ingredients for my hummus all lined up. Today I'm going to use garbanzo beans. You can use white beans, cannellini beans, make a very creamy and delicious hummus. I'm using a low salt organic garbanzo bean. The other name would be chickpeas. Then I have some tahini. Tahini is optional. If you have heart disease or you're looking to lose weight or just being conscious of your fat intake, you might want to leave the tahini out. You totally don't need it. The hummus will taste fine without it. For 2 tablespoons, this particular tahini has 17 grams of fat, 2 grams of saturated fat, and 180 calories. So again, you can totally leave that out of your recipe. I also have a whole grain Dijon mustard, which gives it a nice tang, and I use lots of lemon. I use the lemon zest and the lemon juice from a fresh lemon, and to give it a little kick, I like to use Tabasco. I also use a lot of garlic. I usually use more than is called for in the recipe. So, and some of the tools I have, any old knife, just has to be sharp. You'll need something to zest your lemon. I have a lemon zester I picked up at the grocery store, and I have a citrus reamer to help get all the juice out of the lemon so I don't waste any. And the last thing is a food processor. If you don't have one, I suppose if you had a good blender, that would work fine too. My blender is not very powerful, so I like to use my old Cuisinart food processor. So I have all of my ingredients ready for our hummus. I've taken the yellow peppers and scraped most of the blackening off of them. They're nice and soft. They'll mix up nice in the food processor. I have my chickpeas. I opened the cans and rinsed and drained them. That will get rid of about half of the sodium in your beans. I reserved some of the chickpea water to use to help loosen the hummus up if it's too thick. You can use plain water. You can use whatever you like. I have my garlic chopped. I don't like chopping garlic very well, so I used my mini chopper. And I got some fresh herbs from my living room. I brought in a pot of thyme that I had out in the yard. It may not survive too much longer, but I took stripped the leaves off of the stems. And I have my tools ready for my lemon. So we're going to pour the chickpeas into the food processor. Again, I have 2 cans. I'm going to use just about a tablespoon, a heaping tablespoon of tahini, just to give it a little creaminess. And don't look, I'm using my fingers. Okay. I'm going to take the lemon and my lemon zester, and I'm going to zest that right into the food processor. It gives it such a tangy flavor. I love lemon. It's good for you. It's just delicious. Sometimes my family says I go a little overboard on the lemon in the dishes, but I'm the main one who's going to be eating this, so we won't worry about it. So then I'm going to cut my lemon in half. Forgot we need a sieve or something so we don't get seeds in our hummus, and I don't like to do a lot of dishes, so I'm going to lay that right on top of the food processor. Take my lemon reamer, which I love, and I'm going to use the whole lemon. Might be a bit too much for some of you that aren't crazy about sour and lemon, but I love it. I love vinegars, I love lemons. We recently were turned on to flavored vinegars when we attended Plant Stock the last couple of summers at Dr. Esselstyn's farm. There was a company called Bima and Paz there selling flavored vinegars, and I love just the vinegar on my salad. I don't need to add any oil, any sweetener, anything. The reduced and flavored vinegars are just fabulous. So we have our lemon in. Next I'm going to add the garlic. The order doesn't matter. Plant-based cooking is extremely forgiving. You can mess it up, it will still taste good, it will still be good for you. You can spend hours in the kitchen or you can spend minutes. If you wanted to soak your own beans and really, do things totally from scratch, you can certainly do that. We're hoping to buy an Instapot this coming year and be able to do some of those things, soaking our own beans. I'm going to put the roasted yellow pepper in. This is an experiment, so I'm anxious to see how it comes out. My herbs, you don't have to use herbs if you don't want them. And I'm going to put a couple of teaspoons of the Dijon mustard. And I'm not measuring. I'm going to put a few squirts of hot sauce, because to us, now that we got used to doing it this way, it tastes bland without it. If you don't like spicy things, leave it out. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of ground black pepper since I have it here, because I love pepper also. So we're going to put the lid on, and then we're going to start processing this. And then as I see how it is thickness-wise, we'll add a little bit of water. Coming along nicely. I forgot to bring a spatula over. And I'm just going to scrape down the sides and check and see how it's coming along. It looks wonderful. It's still a little bit heavy for my liking. I want it a little bit looser. So I'm just going to get some water from the sink and add a little bit of water. You can use more lemon juice if you like. I think we're done. So I'll be back in a minute with the finished product. So we have our finished hummus. I think I'm going to have to pick it up to show you. Came out wonderful. Creamy, nice and lemony. Those little bit of herbs helps give it a nice flavor. And I am waiting for my husband to come home with some nice tomatoes. I'm going to make a nice hummus sandwich with this homemade whole wheat bread I made the other day from his recipe. I have some Wassa crackers here, broken up to sample this, and some celery sticks. So I'm going to try this and see how it is. It's wonderful. So have fun with your food and enjoy. And hope to see you back here again for our next recipe, which I'm hoping will be a demonstration from my husband, the plant-based husband, on how to make veggie sushi. Thanks.